And welcome again to another high vibe channeling session for October 2nd. And we welcome everyone who is in attendance and those who will be watching at a later time. We are going to start with the Usol, those playful beings, and welcome Luis. And then after that, we will have our second session with Arla Colette Williams and the ancestor grandmothers et al. And they will discuss the three-eye atlas comet. So we're going to let the playful Usal come in, and I will see you afterwards. An intimate gathering indeed, for we are here with you, even if you are unable to detect us with some of your senses. Hopefully, your common sense will let you in on that fact that we are indeed in front of you. And we have come to give you blessings of the fine job that you are doing individually and collectively, but individually, all of you have expanded immensely in this year. And we know that is not really a surprise for you, but we wish to reiterate the fine job which you have done in heeding your impulses, in desiring to improve your vibrational standing amongst your peers and amongst your desires. For indeed, you have all taken steps to prepare yourself for your own personal open contact, which greatly assists the global open contact initiative. For indeed, as has been emphasized many times, all of these energies ripple out. So the more you get out into the public and allow your energetic field to interact with others, you will find that not only do they notice you a little more, but that it may create some smiles and they might not know why. And those smiles, you can smile back because you can know in your heart, oh, you just got a little bit of my vibration and it picked you up. And that will make you smile even more. And it'll make them smile even more if their countenance allows it. You are not going to resolve Mr. or Mrs. Krabby in one particular encounter. You may have to hang around them for a while, but you better armor yourself so that energy does not rub off on you. It is like glitter in ways, but if you vibrate high, you have a glitter force field, and you could see them spreading that to other individuals who will accept it. But you say, no thanks, this buffet of colorful, small, little things that are hard to get off is not for me. And we are also glad to have the front row seat for your hybrid children event. And we are bringing in our own supporters for that and energizing it as needed to make sure that it has a greater impact than without us. For that is our role. We are supportive because until you and your kind and the other forms of consciousness on your planet achieve that open contact vibration and have that event and and accept and integrate the various beginning races, the first wave of open contact beings into your society, we will not be among you. And we are not saying that we will. For indeed, at this time, your physicality is best expressed from an arm's length, only without arms. So we will continue this little diatribe at another time and open up for any questions which our esteemed attendees may have. Ooh, bump in the road.
Christiana.
Thank you.
Cat lady.
Yes. Hello, hello, and welcome. Lovely to spend time with you.
Your cat will also provide you with information because it loves you, your companion cat, because you can ask it for answers to your questions, and it will be happy to do so. Now, it may have some derision amongst your other cat and other beings who are around, and your cat can encounter them and experience them while you cannot. But it is willing to do so to show how much it loves you and for that connection. And we know that may not have been your question. Matter of fact, we know that was not your question, but please continue.
I'm very, very happy for any message from you because they're all lovely. And yes, we love each other, me and my cats, very much.
It's
I
a
wanted,
bond that exists beyond physicality.
yes, it's a strong one for sure. I wanted to comment on the glitter because you mentioned glitter earlier, and I love glitter. And if you have observed any effects, in from our 3D reality, glitter can also be very sticky. So our glitter will also not rub off others very easily. So I wanted to throw that in there.
But you have energetic glitter, not the
Yes.
real kind. And
Well,
although we do appreciate the creativity as a tool that it can provide, it is just the example in analogy which was important. For those negative vibes, in your terminology, which others give off, you have already learned to avoid them or to not let them affect you. So that is your glitter force field that we were discussing. And others who may not be so adept at maintaining their vibration or detecting and avoiding those types of encounters will be perhaps sucked in if they are not careful. But of course, all of those events they will have created and attracted to themselves. But you are kind to praise us in that way, and we appreciate it.
and my actual question was, have you ever already had like physical incarnations and experiences?
There was a previous session which we had slipped in some information about that. And it was kind of tricky the way that we did it. But indeed, we not only have multiple incarnations in and on your planet, but have them current in several parts of your planet. You see, this is a huge event, a culmination of efforts, and not just by humans, mostly not by humans, for the humans themselves in their physical expressions would not last very long, maybe a few seconds, maybe a couple of minutes without our and other beings like us, that foundational energy help. You are constantly supported by your soul groups, and other beings who are interested. And because you are here at this time, they are interested in you in particular. But there are lots of yous in particular. So there are many different aspects of this particular culmination into the open contact scenarios. Does that help?
Yes, thank you.
And before we forget, I know, and we know, there was a joke which we chose to spring upon you in the spirit of cooperation and humorous attempt. And feel free to repeat this because it is the season for it. So we will say, how do witches follow Bashar's formula? They follow their highest excitement. Yes, and while that is corny, it is non GMO, so feel free to have at it.
They pick up their highest broom. Arla, please.
Oh my goodness. Oh, we are so glad that you are here speaking to us with your jovial uh, energy.
Why, thank you.
Uh,
And remember, hives belong to the beholder.
oh, to those who want to connect with you,
Ooh,
what would you suggest that they do?
we reserve the right not to answer. For indeed, those are some of the details which we choose not to release at this time. For, as we said, there are multiple beings who are attached to us in our own puppeteer ways. Free will puppets you are. But that we are so interested in this that we wouldn't stay away from having front row seats. So there are movers and shakers, as you call them, involved in the ascension on your planet in a physical way or more physical way, a physical and more physical way, and in Earth to provide us with an intimate surrounding of the goings on, we shall say. So if we tip our hands, it may change what happens. And we shall not do so, for it is important that each of those beings, and they may or may not be human, some of them are human, but we need to make sure that they perform in ways which are part of the narrower, straighter path to the desired outcome. And we can't have people wandering around and saying, hey, how do we contact the Usol? Because if we tell you, and we will, but not now, and maybe not for a year or more, or maybe two, for indeed there are some secrets which you have kept from yourself. And if you ask yourself, and it is relevant for you to know, then you can get that answer that you seek. And that goes for all of you, including the cats. But thanks for asking.
Thank you.
Miles.
My question's for Arla.
Oh, we can see for miles and miles.
Thank you, Usol.
Well, we did come with a humorous purpose in mind, and we are, in our own words, entertaining. For all who bask in our energy know they have basked in our energy. And what more can we ask for than appreciation? We can ask you to follow our direction, but you would be wise to think twice about it, for there are tests involved sometimes, and we are not above trying to make you think in ways.
I have a question, Usol, and it has to do with we have not done. This is not our first rodeo, like they say.
Woohoo!
So we have been involved in these kinds of ascensions in other realms and in other times. And
But not
just
like
as you,
this.
just as you have, right? And I would like to get a perspective on what makes this somewhat different and how we have been here on this earth before, perhaps at a similar point in another time, and yet things did not gel out at that time.
It is all different. Each breath is different. So naturally, this ascension and all of the related timelines to it are different. They all have different characters acting differently in ways, unique ways, which is why they exist. So we can see that expansion, and all that is can bask in that greater glory. Now, this particular one has different beings involved, different energies which create the blueprint, the grid work, the patterns, which are filled in by the various beings who wish to experience within this realm. So, in other forms and other awakenings, we will say, on other planets, in other civilizations, in other galaxies, in other timelines, on your Earth and others as well, other planets, our stars, that the mix of interested individuals and individual beings and races, whole races, which have injected some of their energy, which have imbued your creations with some of their, you might know it as DNA, but DNA is a crystalline energy and not observable in your microscopes. So that is another way in which it is unique. For when you have 8 dozen, 2 dozen, even more energies, which are personally dedicated to creating and maintaining your reality. And that reality shifts to such a brilliant focal point of enabling ascension. Then all of those beings are involved. It is like a whole village is celebrating the union of two different groups. We'll call it a marriage, so you can boil them down to individuals. And on that particular day, everybody shows up. They close down all of the shops, all of the office buildings. Everything is canceled except for that event. That is what it is like beyond your world. For there is a rapt attention being paid to your various creations. And it is a flexible racehorse kind of way. For there are indeed individuals who are expressing their potential outcomes of various timelines. And in your ways, although all time is simultaneously happening, there are timelines where, in linear fashion, open contact occurs before others or in other ways. Now, that is not a concern of yours in this level, obviously, and it's not a concern of anybody's. That is just a form of pleasurable activity that some beings participate in. And we are not going to say that is good or bad, but we can say that we are betting on you.
Thank you. Christiana, please.
We just hope our check is good.
Hello again. Since we're on the subject of contacts and connections and all this, there is this wonderful feline race called Monteric, and they actually gave instructions on how to connect. And I had made an attempt, and I did feel a connection, but it was kind of one way, so I could not receive feedback. So was that me blocking myself? And would you advise to continue such practice?
Well, we will answer in this way. If that is your desire and your intent, then it shall happen. Now, you may have to work at it a little bit. Look at this like you might with a goal of making, in your basketball courts, 10 consecutive free throws in a row. Now, if you are unfamiliar with basketball, or you did not have all of the skills and training necessary, it would take you some time. But if you were dedicated, you would take the necessary steps to accomplish that goal. It would not be beyond you because, in essence, as long as you can heave the ball up there, you have the physical ability to do so. Now, if you just tried once and you say, oh, this is too tough, it'll take too long, it is no longer my highest excitement, then it will not happen. So we ask you, how important is that to you?
Very good point. Thank you.
Well, we're not letting you off so easily. For if you choose to give up, we wish you to just think about that. Now, if it is not your highest excitement, you can say, I gave up because other things excite me more. But if you say any response from a 3D level, we ask you to just go into that. It may not change your decision, but we ask you to find the whys and the hows of why that may not be the best thing for you. Now, that is just like an extra credit type of thing, because if you don't want to do it, then give it no more thought. But when you have something that you would like to do, and it ends up not working out or not working out the way that you thought, those are prime opportunities for learning. There are lessons in there for you, and it may be to teach you to follow that discernment and not follow certain paths which do not appeal to you. It may be to teach you to overcome a particular obstacle, or you are supposed to deal with a particular individual or help a particular event related to that. Or it could even be that you are supposed to approach that situation or that desire and proceed towards it so you can get the right alternate path given to you at the time where you will follow it into further growth and expansion. Now, that is a good lesson for everyone. But We hope that it helps you.
Yes, very much. Thank you.
And we applaud your decision. We are not being judgmental. We are here to provide some lessons along with our answer and a couple of jokes.
Any other questions? Or
Well, you are a fun group, even if the clamoring is not too obstruction. That word doesn't fit. Is not too boisterous. We will see.
Usol, did we at some point share this very same energetic feel and participated from your perspective as you're participating with us today with others?
Define same.
Well, not as a precise word, but as a
Well, when you ask a question using 3D references, and we just wanted to bat that back at you because we already know the answer, but we wish for you to be more direct in your questions and leave the 3D connotations out, for that will help train your brain to engage the non-physical portions. Because the less you identify with your physical world in your speech, the freer your vibration will be. And the more truth you can weave into those vocalizations, we will say, because that energy will come from a different resonance.
I appreciate that immensely.
Now, if you would like to ask your question again, we would love to hear it.
We have been the same, the very same.
We
And
have?
we are, yeah.
That's impossible.
Well,
we have never been the same.
We have never been the same.
No,
well,
you aren't the same. From one second to the next, none of us are the same. Even outside your physical realm, none of us are the same because one thought creates new realities. So how can a thought not change? That's what we are asking you to do, to phrase your question and not use any of those things which you know do not exist. There is no sameness. There is no actual time that is a misstatement because there are plenty of variables of time. It just all happens simultaneously. And forgive us for our stern interruption. Now, you were saying we were all encountering before?
Yeah, same as streams of consciousness that we have shared.
Well, on a higher level, it is all shared. So there are many different aspects of answers as there are for your question, because there are multiple layers to consider. But there are no secrets. The only secrets are the ones which are irrelevant to you in truth. For it is all available. It is just sometimes, and the channel used this example earlier in assisting another individual who had questions about how come they feel like information is being withheld from them. And the answer was, you have to grow into it. There is a reason on your planet why no one buys infants adult clothes. Because they have to grow into them. It is not that they are keeping the adult clothes from them, for they are welcome to them, but it is not time. They are not in the proper frame biologically to utilize those particular garments. And the same is true with the information. It is all there. It's can you reach it? Sometimes you might need a step stool, and that means you're going to have to vibrate a little bit higher or get some help. But if it's relevant to you, it will flow right when you need it. As you all know, as you are aware, it is a flow which is free of rapids. It is the most direct route. Now, the humans may circumnavigate, but that is a choice as well.
Thank you, Usol.
And we thank you.
Let's see. Appears that we don't have any other questions. So thank you,
Well,
thank you, thank you.
We have a question why there are no more questions.
That's a good question.
And of course it is, because it came out. And there is truth behind it and a little humor as well. But we shall, in our own special ways, and we are somewhat recalcitrant, we will say. We like that word. We like probing the vernacular of this particular noggin. But that we were unable to provide all of the details we would like because it's not prudent. It is not relevant. And we are glad that all of you accept that information because you have plenty to concentrate on in your now moments. And with that, we shall leave you to them, and we shall recede to the sidelines and await the next person who takes the podium, which is not a person at all, but an energetic force, which is to be reckoned with and reckons with you. And we appreciate and love you all. And thank you for being a wonderful audience and for laughing at the appropriate places.
Thank you. We love you. Hola.
They normally aren't that rough when they take off.
Well,
I guess maybe we hit rapids.
maybe.
I know
Things are happening. Things are happening. That's for sure.
Oh, yeah. Oh my God. And Arla, I can answer your question, but I'm not going to because it's a secret.
It's a secret, yeah. I sense some of that.
You're still muted, Arla.
Yeah.
Okay. But yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't even for me. It was a question that came from somewhere. And it wasn't for a human at all. So
Well,
I don't know who it was. All I know, it was not a human, and their energy passed the feeling. So if the Usol want them to know at some point, I'm sure they will. So you get answers or you don't get answers. That's how it goes.
well, and they felt like they had to explain. I mean, they could have just said, "We're not going to tell you," but they like dragging things out. I'm not being derogatory with that, but I think sometimes they like to hear themselves talk. I take that back. All of the time, they love to hear themselves talk. They love this physical expression, which is why they're still here. I mean, they've probably been working on this particular ascension for buku millennia in our Earth history. So, you don't spend a year planning for a party and then not attend. You know, if it's an important event, the guy who's in charge of catering is going to be there. Let's put it that way. And welcome Heidi and Lynette. And the Usol has just finished up, and we are going to bring in Arla Colette Williams shortly, and the ancestor grandmothers et al. And for right now, I'm going to take a miniature break, and we will be back with the second session in just a minute or two.